One of the characters that I'm most excited to see in Avatar Fire and Ash is Varang, and we actually got 2 new images of her outside of the actual trailer. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And recently in an Empire magazine article, they talk about Varang, giving us some more detail into her character, where they provided us with an image. And I will go into detail on the image at the end of the article, but if you want to read the article for yourself, the link to that is in the description below. Now the article by Ben Travis is titled, quote, Avatar's new villain Varang is the hero of her people in Fire and Ash. She saved them. Very interesting heading there, so I'm really curious to read the article, which goes as follows, quote, as we've learned in the Avatar saga so far, the Na'vi are not a monolith. The giant blue inhabitants of Pandora consists of various peoples whose relationship with the land varies wildly. The first film brought us the Metkayina and their sprawling home tree, a clan firmly in tune with the lush jungle. The Way of Water introduced the Metkayina, who have developed alongside their relationship with the oceans from their aquamarine skin tones to their flipper-like webbed hands. Now, in Avatar Fire and Ash, we'll meet the Mongkwang clan, a Na'vi faction whose existence on Pandora has not been so harmonious. The Mongkwang, or Ash people, will play a more antagonistic role in the Avatar saga, hardened by tragedy that has left them less than enamored with Pandora's spiritual entity, Eywa. Una Chaplin, who plays Varang, said the following, quote, they have a bunch of unresolved trauma. They got hit by a natural disaster, and what Varang did was say, well, fuck Eywa, end quote. Where the Metkayina and Metkayina both believe deeply in the interconnectedness of Pandora's ecosystem, Varang has led the Mongkwang down another path. She continues, quote, she basically goes toward a different power and tries to harness that, and in so doing kind of raises her people out of the misery. It's easy to fall into the villain mentality, but actually she's the hero of her people because she saved them out of the misery and starvation and begging, end quote. Still, the role took Chaplin to dark places, sending her to a really weird headspace for a while. She concluded, quote, I kind of covered my whole trailer with very vivid and disturbing images of the kind of trauma that Varang would have gone through. I got really into throat singing with Varang, and I got really into Slipknot. I'd never really gone into death metal, and probably Slipknot is laughable to some people. Oh, that's so mild, but it was pretty hardcore for me. She did seep into my psyche a little more than I had anticipated. It was okay, I didn't rip anybody's head off, end quote. So this is, I believe, the first real interview with Una Chaplin on Varang, and it's interesting to see that she is seen as this hero character, at least amongst her people. So it will be interesting how that will play out in Avatar Fire and Ash. And just to see how other Na'vi will see her, because I mean, the Metkayina sees Jake as the hero, and everybody knows Jake's story. So I do wonder if people would have heard of Varang, and what they would have heard about her, and how that will just play out in the story. You know, as for the images, the Avatar Twitter account did update their banner after the trailer was released, giving us this image of Varang, which is just a complete version of the poster. So now we finally have the full version of Varang's face on the poster, not just a half cut. And I do like how she has the smirk on the one side, and the side with the smirk is kind of drenched in darkness. So you don't really know what to expect, you kind of have this eerie feeling. But the picture I'm really excited about is the one Empire magazine released. And it is this one here where she is lightly on top of her night wraith, about to shoot a fire arrow. Kind of mirroring the image of Neytiri when she pulls back her bowstring. And I just like the overall look of Varang here, the intensity in her eyes, the fact that she has a flame arrow, and the paint on her face. Given the fact that she doesn't have any mud or bruises on her face, this is probably early on in the movie when the Ash clan attacks the Wind Traders when they're arriving at the Metkayina. In fact, looking through the wings of the night wraiths, you can kind of see the Metkayina forest there sticking out just a little bit. So I do think it takes place early in the movie, probably the first act, as the Wind Traders is arriving with Jake and his family at the Metkayina tribe. And this is maybe the shot that hits Neytiri, because we know based on the trailers that Neytiri does get shot with an arrow. And I'm guessing it's because of Varang, so I do wonder if this is the shot where Neytiri gets hit. Regardless, it is a pretty awesome and intimidating shot. I do really love her headpiece as well. We get a much clearer look at it. As the sun is shining on it, you see the red colors just really popping out, and you see her earrings, of course the red paint on her hands. But I'm just really curious to see more of Night Wraith. I just want to see more of that thing and just see how intimidating it looks, because we briefly see it in the trailer, but we don't really have that much close-ups of the creature. Regardless, I love the shot, and I am really curious to learn more about Varang. I'm honestly more interested to see or to read about her in like the behind-the-scenes books and the encyclopedia and all that, to just learn more about her character and her people. Definitely one of the most anticipated characters. Honestly, my most anticipated character of the third movie. But what do you think of the idea of her being the hero to her people? And what do you think of this image? Let me know in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.